Hello, this is Sandy Thomas, and I'm showing you my Project 2 quiz app. So here is my Udemy. Right here for, section 3, 39 out of 40, task complete. On the last task here, this progress cannot be changed for this item, so it is complete. Here's my working app. You see here, I'm going to start the quiz button. Restart works again, and I'll show you. Just going through it really quick. Load the screen back there. Alright, here we go. As I go into the code, we're going to start here. We're going to go up in the up direction. So in our lib folder here, we have 3 subfolders, which is our data folder, models folder, and our questions _ summary folder. So when I get to those subfolders and I finish explaining all the code in them, I'll close them up. But within the lib folder and the files that do not adhere to any of the subfolders are these files here. So we're going to start with our start screen Dart file. So this is a stateless widget with the quiz logo, and if you see our file path right here for the quiz logo, and it also has our start quiz button. Let's go find the start quiz button in here. Yes, on start with the start quiz button, and that calls the start quiz function from our quiz file, which you'll see in 2 more as we go up. In the results screen, the Dart file, here we have another stateless widget that shows the final score after the quiz. And this also displays a summary of the quiz as well, and that's what we saw at the end, where it was like you got blank out of blank questions correct. Here we use the $ operator to put variables, and it keeps track of the number of user correct questions and the number of total questions in total there. So that's for the results screen file. The quiz Dart, what I mentioned in the start screen file. So the quiz Dart file is the core controller of our app, and that's what we see. So we have our purples here that shows the color on the screen of our quiz app, and it also has a stateful widget. Here we go, right here, stateful widget, and it manages which screen is shown. So basically, here we start on the start screen like that I reloaded to. Once the state is set and we click the start quiz button, then we get to our questions. Once we're done with all of our questions, we get our result. And on the results screen, you saw how I clicked the restart quiz button, then it goes right back to questions screen. And so that is what our quiz Dart does. For our questions screen Dart, another stateful widget here. It's another stateful widget, and this is what displays our questions. So here we have our super key and our required answer select, and we have another void function here. And with the question screen file on the onSelect answer, so right here, this is what allows us to move to the next function. And a lot of these files are stateful widgets, and once again, stateful widgets are mutable, so that means that they can be changed, unlike stateless widgets, if I'm not mistaken. That's the name of it. So our main Dart file is pretty much the same throughout all projects. You just have a run app, and it just pulls up the quiz app UI user interface. For our answer button Dart file here, we have a reusable user interface component that we developed in here. And so something new that we learned was the elevated button, and the elevated button changes the display of the answer choices widgets, and the answer text if we go here, we see here our answer text. What our answer text does is the text that's shown on the button, and on tap is the function that is called when the button is clicked. So we can find on tap here, boom, it changes around there. So that is it for all the files just regularly within lib. So now we're going to move on to our questions_summary subfile. And so we start at our summary item here. So once again, like I explained, it's another stateless widget, and it shows the details of one question and the results. And here, something else that we learned is being able to import files and packages from third-party apps and sites and whatnot. And so here we imported the Google font, and we used the Lotto style for that font throughout our project here. Now we're on our question summary Dart file. So for our question summary Dart file, this just shows the details of one question and the results. And so in the results, this is the wrong file, sorry. The question summary, what this does is displays full quiz summary results. So just not for one, but for the full quiz. And it has a summary data list, and that's here. And this is something that we learned, is being able to use a list, and within the list mapping the list to a string and an object, and our object ends up being our summary data. And that's how we have our list. And it also builds a scrollable column that fits within the height of 400 pixels. So quickly again, to show you this scrollable column here, this is our scrollable column scrolling up and down, because the height is set to a max of 400 pixels and all of this doesn't fit within 400 pixels. So the max is there, that's 400 pixels, and then you're just able to scroll down to see the rest of everything. Now when we go to our question identifier, this is what visually marks which question is being referenced. So we have our blue and our pink colors here, and all these is the blue circle is if the question was correct, and the pink circle is wrong. So once again in the app here, so I got one question right, so the only one I got right was question 3, and we marked that with the blue here, and the other 5 that I got wrong are marked with pink. That's the end of the question summary. So now we go into models and our quiz question Dart file. And so this defines our quiz question model class. And this is just a helper method with the get shuffled answers here. And this is what shuffles the way our answers are shown. So in our questions file, our questions.dart file, which I'll get into here, this has our questions and our answers. And so with the answers for the questions, each correct answer is always the first option here. But in here, we shuffle that so that it shows up in a random order. So now in our data subfolder, questions.dart, like I just explained, all this is, it just shows our question, which is here, and then the answer choices to the questions, and the first answer option is always correct. But in quiz question, to have but to have difference and for it to not be so easy, we just shuffle the order of it. So thank you for listening to my presentation on my project.